I'm Kelly, and this is my husband, Brian, and we're here to share a story about our angel baby, Jonathan Charles. It was in June of 2017 that Brian and I were pleasantly surprised with a positive pregnancy test for a baby. We had already been blessed with 5 beautiful daughters, and we didn't know how we were gonna be able to stretch our love even further for a 6th child, but it was still a very exciting time for us. Deep down, like any parent, we always pray for a healthy baby, no matter what. But I think even further down, we were both looking at each other like, I hope it's a boy. It was like, we got those 5 beautiful daughters, but we need a boy. We got to schedule our level 2 ultrasound, which was a more detailed ultrasound. We were able to see, or we were going to be able to see all of his little organs, the
different parts.
All the different parts of his heart and all of that. And we were just like so prepared.
So excited.
And excited to just, see our little man. So we're in there and the ultrasound tech comes in, and we had never met this ultrasound tech before. But it was at the hospital, not our usual place. So we were both a little uneasy, but I think the excitement of being able to see our boy kind of took over. So when she got the ultrasound machine out and she started looking, and it wasn't like the normal looking. It was just like
something was off.
Yeah, something was off. And we're like, is everything okay? And she's like, I can't find his heartbeat. And from that moment on, it was like you could hear like glass shattering. It was like everything that was us, like all of a sudden just rushed away, and it was all over the floor, and we were just, I immediately like curled up into a fetal position, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. And I kept saying to the ultrasound tech, are you sure? Can you get another tech in here to show me? I don't believe you. Because nobody wants to hear that their baby, at that point, I was 21 weeks pregnant. And nobody wants to hear at 21 weeks that your baby, let alone our only boy, had passed.
So once we found out that his heart was no longer beating, just kind of felt numb from there. We were all excited, and then it all rushed away. We just didn't know what to do, where to go. Luckily, our doctor, our OB, was able to get us in after hours. And we felt a lot more compassion from her as opposed to the techs and the doctor at the hospital. She was able to give us a hug and kind of just talk us through like what our options were.
But it was still like, she was compassionate because she knew us from our previous children, but it still wasn't as comforting as we would have liked it to be. So once we were finished with her, she's like, the next point is to start scheduling everything. And at that point, before we started scheduling things, is through a friend, Heaven's Gain contacted us. Donna was our first person to talk to. It was like right away, as soon as we were on the phone with her, I was just one big ball of mess and didn't know even where to start. And she's like, it was like everything that she had to share and everything she had to say was like so from the heart. And it was the first time that we felt someone have more compassion rather than a typical doctor answer. Since she couldn't be with us personally one-on-one, she has an assistant named Kim, and Kim came to us in person And just having her hug us, we knew it was time for us to start grieving. That it was like that numbness kind of went away, and it was the first real, like, sobbing cry of mourning our son. Kim came over, and she sat down and she talked to us about her life and her own personal feelings of going through and her losses. And she understood what we were going through. And she started by, going over things that the doctor doesn't go over with you. She went over a birthing plan, that we did have options. That, most hospitals, they just think of it as, well, it's a miscarriage, it's a biological material, it's no longer a child. But Kim and Donna had both said, no, this is your child. And we were both like, yes, this is our child, this is our son. Even though his soul was taken from us early, he was still our son.
We were concerned that we weren't going to be able to take him home with us after the birth. Part of our birthing plan was to take him home, and I think by having that allowed the hospital to allow us to take him home with us. And I think without her, without them, we would not have had that ability. We did work with a funeral home after, and they were able to supply us with a casket for him, and worked with a local
cemetery?
That's the word. That's local cemetery they had an area just for young babies, able to use the casket and have a burial for him with him, celebrate his life.
I think what we like the most is that once we buried our son, it wasn't just over. We still had emotions, and we still had a lot of things to work through. A lot of questions our daughters had that we couldn't answer. And thanks be to God, Donna and Kim were right there. They were never more than a phone call away. If I hadn't been communicating with them, they'd text me or shoot me a quick phone call saying, are you okay? How's things going today? Do the girls have any new questions? Can I come over and babysit your girls? Give you guys some time to be together. What was kind of funny is that through all of our grieving, neither of us had, we knew that we couldn't end on a miscarriage with our having children. So surprisingly, we weren't anticipating so soon, but almost a year to the date, we found out that we were pregnant again on his birthday.
We had happiness because of the pregnancy, but we were terrified we were going to go through something very similar with this pregnancy.
Yeah. So it turned out, the pregnancy was about the same, but it was still, you have those doubts. And Kim and Donna were always still texting us and calling us like, everything's normal. You're going to be okay. They would call and find out how the doctor's appointment went. When I had questions, they were there any time of the day during this pregnancy that I could call them and talk to them about a situation, how I'm feeling. Oh, I'm having that same feeling. I would go, I'm having that same feeling that I had right before I lost Jonathan, right before we found out we were losing Jonathan. And they would, she's like, you can't think that way. You just have to put your faith in God. And I think we would have lost our faith in God if it wasn't for Donna and Kim
Heaven's Gain.
and Heaven's Gain. I still, every birthday, every November 7th, I still get a little phone call or a text or a little message from Donna and Kim saying, you know, how you doing? It's been 4 years. Aren't you so proud that you have a little boy in heaven? It's been really great. They've been really great.